Hi, and welcome to How to Get Paid with Kevin Willett. As you can see, we got my friend Jennifer Yousem with us. And so, Jen, welcome to the show first. And
Thank
start by
you.
telling us a little bit about yourself and your business so people know who you are.
Yeah, I'm the founder of I Heart EBITDA. We're an outsourced bookkeeping, controller, and fractional CFO advisory firm for the mid-market.
So, Jen, here's the awkward conversation. I want my money.
Yep.
And this is where we struggle because, well, I know Jen's my friend. I know she's going through some stuff or, whatever, but yet I still got to pay my bills. And we all have that struggle with just coming out and saying, Jen, you know, your fees due, please pay me. What's your advice for people who are struggling to get paid?
Well, first of all, if you're saying things like, I feel bad, it's my
Yes,
friends, okay,
yes,
then that's a favor, that's not revenue.
yep.
So let's parse
Let's
those two
call,
things
let's
out,
call it what it is.
call it what it is. People don't like talking about money, and they definitely don't like asking for money.
Oh, I don't.
So, right. So, my advice is you have to get over it
Yep.
because
I did. I let
that,
my wife handle it for me.
there you go.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons people outsource to us is for
Yep.
us to be a bad guy. They don't want to be seen as the bad guy, and they can stay arm's length and say, when the customer calls you and says, Kevin, bookkeeper's harassing me for payment,
Yep.
right? There's a lot of people that aren't going to call and say that because they know they owe them money,
Yep.
right? So, and so what I tell people is there's certain things you can put in place to make the conversation easier. Okay.
Right.
First and foremost is put in automatic payments.
Amen.
That is the easiest way to avoid the conversation. You have the conversation once when you sign the contract, and you never have to have that conversation again. If you're not comfortable doing that, or you're working more in projects, you have to have a process and you have to be consistent. So let's say you're doing milestone billing and
Gonna say
right,
the same thing.
right. So you are going to take a 50% deposit when you sign the contract. And then when 50% is done, you're going to take another 25% and then 25% upon completion. You need to be great about doing that. So I tell my clients, you just signed it. Okay, right now, let's send the bill. The biggest mistake I see, my client will start the work before they get paid. So now we're ready to bill for the 50% milestone,
Yep.
and the client hasn't even paid the deposit yet.
Whoops.
Okay, bad on you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they come to us and they're like, I'm freaking out about cash flow. I've done so much work. I'm like, why did you start the work? You didn't get the deposit. Well, I know they're good for it.
Yes. Of
Okay.
course they are.
I'm here showing you they're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We've sent 3 reminders. They have you on the pay no mind list. So you have to be tougher. And I hear so many people say exactly what you said. I know him. He's a good guy. I don't care about any of that, quite frankly. I care about getting paid.
Yeah.
So you have to adopt that attitude. Now, if you're someone who's not working on projects and you're doing regular billings,
Yep.
if you bill on the first of every month, bill on the first of every month. If you are net 10, if they have not paid on day 10, you are calling and following up on day 10, and you are stopping work on day 11.
Cool.
It's a discipline.
So, Jen, I like what you said about billing on the first because I have a friend. He is a plumber, and when I first met him, he would bill like at the end of the month. I'm like, thanks for the 30-day free interest loan. And then I'm going to take 30 days to pay you on top of it. But then he started, as soon as he was done, he's like, okay, here's the bill. I want to get paid. It changed his whole business from a cash flow standpoint. You don't want to give people a 30-day free loan if you wait until the 30th. I have friends that bill on the 30th. I'm like, well, Jen, you did the job on the 3rd. It's 27 free days. Bill right away, right? If you can.
Yes, yes. Bill right away. And your terms, you need to, again, it's about process and consistency. You have to agree to the terms ahead of time with the client. And a lot of people now are getting paid ahead of time because people are not paying their bills. And the reality is that's what sinks companies quickly. So, especially if you're in the professional services agency and you want to pay your people on time, you need to get paid on time.
Jen, how about the importance of contracts? So they have everyone sign a contract?
Absolutely.
But Jen, you and I are friends. Come on, we go way back. You're good for it.
Then I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, plain and simple. But people are afraid. You're like, well, just because Jen's your favorite person in the whole wide world, she can still be your favorite person. But now she's a client in this scenario. You have to treat her like everyone else, even when you've known her since 3rd grade. Not relevant, unfortunately. That's hard for people.
And if you want to negotiate something with your friend ahead of time, hey, we're normally net 10. You're asking for net 30. That's fine. We'll do net 30. That's a pre-negotiated discussion point, not it's the 10th and you haven't paid us.
So, all right, Jen, I'm waiting for my money. You're not giving it to me. I'm getting angry. When do I consider litigation?
So that to us is the final step. So if you've done the work and you're not getting paid and you followed up and they've got you on the pay no mind list, you can bring somebody in as, quickly as you want to. Litigation is expensive and it's no guarantee of payment, unfortunately. So you can, and it also depends on kind of what state you're in and how the contract was set up. And it'll always go back to how good is the contract. So
Again, that's why contracts are important. You can't just do that, we're friends, we're good, if it's not in writing, you have nothing to go back on.
correct.
That gets a little scary and stuff. But again, like you said, hopefully, hey, before we get to that level, we can find a way to do it. I know my friend's an attorney. She's like, it's amazing what will happen when I send them a letter just saying, hey, it's from an attorney. All right, Jen's serious. She's going to come after me if I don't pay it. But people all of a sudden magically find money.
Yes. And the other option is if someone is working with you and they're like, Kevin, I'm so sorry. I got absolutely screwed by this other client. I'm really light on cash. Maybe you want to say to them a couple things. All right, you can pay by the end of the week. I'll give you a 15% discount. Or pay me something for goodwill. Let's set up a payment plan. You send me $100 a week for the next 12 weeks until this is paid. If they are willing to show some goodwill, or you want to say to them, I don't normally take credit cards, but I'll take a credit card if that would make things easier for you. Like, there's a lot of options available. But if someone is just ghosting you, you are in trouble.
Yep. So, Jen, if people have questions about this, they want advice on how do I set up the system so I can make sure I have my cash coming in, what's the best way to reach out to you to get some advice?
Check out our website, iHeartEBITDA.com.
Awesome, Jen. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to call the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thanks for having me.